Shawn Marshaw to you. Half of the city council candidates have lived in Shakopee for fewer than 10 years. What do you think should be the correct balance between having a long community history and coming with new ideas and representing the new residents? And this question will go toward all of the city council candidates.
Good question. You know, I sit back, I mean, the question basically is, should you have a long-term or short-term resident on your city council? And I think maybe both. You know, you need that short-term. I came from Bloomington. I seen Bloomington grow. I was, 5 years old when we moved from Richfield to Bloomington. And I've seen it grow all the way up until I'm, 10 years ago. I think you need a combination of both. And I think if you just sit back and you just say, let's put the granddaddies on the, granddaddies on the city council, I think you start losing what other communities can bring to you. And you really need to sit back. I mean, I've seen the school expansion in Bloomington and how we needed so many more schools put in Bloomington. And then all of a sudden, they're all community centers. And so now Bloomington has, 7, 8 community centers. Or they all have to be sold to private entities. It's things like that that we need to really kind of sit back and look at and just say, hey, it'd be good to mix it up. It'd be good to get some new blood in and to kind of take a look at what we have out there. So I think a good mix is a good thing.
All right, thank you very much. Michael Luce.
I agree, you gotta have a mixture, but you do have to have some people that have been in the town all their life. Gives you some hindsight as to problems that have arisen and maybe have been done wrong, and you would have a better fix for it. You also, like you say, need new people. New people have new ideas. Just because we've lived here, a few of us all our life, doesn't mean we know everything. New insights are great. The melding of both is the best. Plain and simple, you gotta have a little bit of everything.
All right, thank you, Pamela Punt.
I think that a mixture is a mixture of older, longer time residents and newer residents would create a good balance as far as having the history of what has happened and things like that. But I do believe that what should be focused on more specifically is the skills and experience that people have in relation to the specific tasks of running the city. So I think what's more relevant is people that have experience in creating great partnerships with other entities, executing and getting things done, and then also someone who is going to go out and talk to our residents and understand what their perspective is, understand what the wants and needs are of the people within the community. And I think anybody, no matter how long they've lived here, is able to do that. I actually have been thinking about it a lot because I've been out knocking on doors and talking to people throughout the community. And to me, that's just the beginning, is doing that during the campaign process. I think that that's something that, as a city council member, should be a requirement of the job, is to continue going out, knocking on doors, listening to people from the community and understanding what their wants and needs and perspective are, because that's what this job is. It's about representing their views and governing the city, not digging into the details and actually going out myself and fixing a road. I don't know how to do that, but I know how to put together a team. I know how to assess talent and figure out how to put together the right people to get things done. And I really think that's what the role of the city council is. Thanks.
Thank you. Todd, Schoenike?
I guess, yeah, I also agree. I mean, obviously the pros do outweigh the cons as far as long-term, short-term residencies. You do need that balance. But like Pamela was saying, the bottom line is, though, you need to pick a candidate that's going to represent what you want or what you see the best in Shakopee and how you see Shakopee develop, growing as a city. And one that's going to, listen to the public, maybe, have town hall meetings of some nature, listen to the community and take to heart what they have to say and do its best for the city. But I would definitely agree that you do need a balance. It's definitely got more pros and cons.
All right, thank you. Jay Wedding.
Thank you.
incumbent, I think they need new blood. I do think there should be a balance of, you know, lifelong. It seems like the city council has always been lifelong Shakopee residents, and that's not always true, but seems to be heavily weighted that way. What I think is more important is someone that's been involved and made connections, you know, been on board, started there, learned how things work, made some connections in other parts of the community where they can contact people and say, hey, what do you think of this? Whether it be from you know, the arts, you know, people who would be connected with the arts, or people that are connected with the downtown group, people in business. You know, there's all sorts of different connections that you need to make, and I think that's important for a city councilor to know who to contact and how Shakopee works.
All right, thank you very much. So that was the second round of questioning. Give them a round of applause. We're going to go